Hi, this is Miss Brenda. Welcome back to my channel. Well, good afternoon. Okay, I just set aside to sit out on the porch for a minute. It's kind of nice out here. Okay, yeah, it's kind of nice. Nobody out here right now. See, look. Okay, there's nobody out here right now. Um, just want to see how everybody's doing. I know I'm late coming on this, uh, coming in this YouTube right now. I'm kind of late, but just you know, want to know how everybody's doing. Um, do you know I thought Easter had came and gone? I really did. I was looking, and this man was on TV talking about the eggs, how they were so high. You know how Mr. Spider tried to get that thing going with the eggs. So I'm looking, I'm looking at TV, and he talking about boiling some potatoes and dye them. So he had the potatoes. I guess they was white potatoes. He had dyed them, and they were different colors, just like eggs. And he said, because the eggs so high, so he said he was using potatoes. And once they get through, the kids, they gonna mash them, have mashed potatoes for supper. I mean that's a good idea. They were looking pretty though. The red, different colors. They were looking pretty. They really was. Yeah, they looked pretty. I never thought about that. He must have some of them white. Yeah, he did have the white Russell potatoes, and he dyed them. Yeah, and then go mash them for mashed potatoes. Okay, yeah, but I thought Easter had. I really did. I said I was looking at the calendar. I said, "Oh, we done had Easter already," and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, Easter is Sunday, and Good Friday is Friday." Okay, do you remember when your kids was little? Those of you who got kids was little, and when Easter came, cause I used to look out the window. I mean, I did go to church, you know, uh, with the kids back, then with Easter. I did go back then with Easter, and I would look out the window and see the little kids with the patent leather black shoes on, and the patent leather purse on, and they'd be walking down the street and stuff. The girls had their little bonnets on their head. They looked so pretty and stuff. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. And little boys had their little suits on, and on the way to church. And remember how they had them programs at church, like those programs, excuse me, those programs where you had to say your Easter speech, and then it'd be somebody next to them, and they would, because he might forget a word or two, and then he used to, and then the person who sat and stood next to him would tell him what the next line was. That was cute. I remember that. Yeah, and I remember that a lot of times that what I did was a moment. A lot of times what I did was when we got through come out of church, we would go home and have that Easter dinner. Some people have like ham and stuff, potato salad, pies, all over again, holiday food. It was good. But I don't do all that cooking like I used to do. My mother used to say, keep on living, you'll stop doing all that cooking. And I see what she mean. I want somebody else to cook for me, okay? But, yeah, we would go to Lincoln Park Zoo, and those were good old days. I mean, some good days now too, but I'm just saying, I'm just taking a stroll down memory lane. Yeah. We used to rush to the store to get the clothes. I said, I got to go to the store. It was a store called Community Store. That was years ago. It was called Community. It was something like Woolworth. And we'd go there and get the shoes, patent leather shoes, black shoes, the purse, little bonnet hats for the girls and stuff. Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah, it was nice and stuff. Then, people who hadn't been to church in years, but they'll flock to the church on Easter. That's what people do. Most of them do, you know. They'll show up Easter and they'll show up Mother's Day. Those 2 days you ain't seen people, but they'll show up those days. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's kind of chilly out here, though. Oh, and about Mr. Spider, what they gonna do, the passing of his mother, what they gonna do this coming Saturday, they're going to release some balloons in the air, some balloons. So that's what they're gonna do for her. Okay. I understand that they cremate her. He's doing okay, you know. He's hanging in there, you know. Because I checked on him. Matter of fact, I gotta give him a call back and see how he's doing today, you know. He's hanging in there and stuff. So, you know, it's part of life. I know we all gonna leave here one day, you know. I don't want to know when my number's up. Some people don't want to know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I want to know. Okay. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of chilly. That man said it's going to be 80 degrees Friday. He said 80. I know he said 60 Thursday. He said 80, close to 80 on Friday. Hi. Okay. Yeah, he said close to 80 on Friday. Yeah. That'd be good and stuff. Yeah. Close to 80 on Friday. I got to go and look in that mailbox too to see if any bills. I know there ain't going to be no check. And I did go down there and pick up my, I did pick up the check from the tax people. Not the check, the income tax. I went down there and picked that up. And sadly to tell you, sadly, I owe them. I owe the government. But I don't owe the Springfield. What is that called? The people in Springfield, I don't owe them. The state, that's what I got. But other people I do. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, but that's at least I filed them on time, because you can get penalized for not filing them on time too. But I did file them, so that's good. Yeah. So that's it. So I did cook some chicken and noodles last night. Okay. And you probably said that, well, that's why you didn't come on YouTube. Right. That's why I didn't come on YouTube. I was busy making chicken and noodles. I'm sorry, y'all. I was making chicken and noodles. So I couldn't, you know, when I looked around, it was so late. I said, oh my God. I said, I had to catch them tomorrow, which is the day. And then I had zoomed down early to get me some coffee. And I did run by Jewel. What did I go to Jewel for? Yeah, I needed some sausage. Yeah. Because I really don't, sometimes I eat McDonald's sausage. Most of the time I just cook my own. So, and had some coffee. Yeah, so that was good and stuff. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it was a nice day. And most of the kids, I think they're in school. Yeah, they'll be getting out later and stuff. Because still it's kind of early. I think it's like, it must be after 2 o'clock. Something like that. Okay. But other than that, how everybody doing? You know what I saw? The old picture. Well, it's not that old, but it could be. The faculty. I remember that picture. So I watched it the other night. You know, about the aliens. You know, took over the school. You know, everybody. You know, it was good. I mean, even though I saw it, but if you don't see pictures, movies for a long time, when you watch it, it's like, man, I never seen it before. That's the feeling you get, you know. But it was good. And watch this other picture. I don't know the name of it, but it was people on an airplane, and they was going to Boston, and the people who was woke, they disappeared. The only ones who were left on the plane was the ones that didn't go to sleep. Wait a minute, the ones that went to sleep, they survived, and the ones that woke, they disappeared. So then they landed, the pilot, and it was called a landgangers. So they're like in another time zone. So they were trying to get back, and they were trying to figure things out, because where they landed it was like an empty airport was nobody there. And they kept saying, what is that noise? It was a captain and a few more people, a little girl who was blind. She was going to the, maybe you might remember the picture. It was going to get an operation. And they kept saying, what is that noise? What's that noise? It was like these they looked like some things to be on Pac-Man, to eat to eat stuff. They were eating away the trees, and it was they were way off distance, so they was headed to them. So they had to get out of there because it was like they was cleaning up. So they had to actually had to get things together, refuel the airplane, and get out of there. And which they did. They just made it too, but they was trying to find the porthole to go back to the present time. And the only way that people could go to sleep was to lower the air pressure. But someone would have to do that. Someone would have to force to die to do that. So this one guy, he volunteered. It was sad. He was a good guy. And what he did was he lowered the pressure, and you saw in space, you saw this big old thing look like I don't know, like a galaxy with a big hole, because he kept talking about it's so pretty, so pretty, but everybody else was asleep. And then as they was going through, he disappeared. His watch fell off in the seat, but they got back to where they were, and first it was nobody outside, and then it was trying to catch up, like the time was trying to catch up, and they all was against the wall because the guy said, we better get against the wall because you don't know when the time come, when the people come. So the people start appearing, and a little boy and girl was with their daddy, and they would look and say, Daddy, look, look at the new people. He called them the new people. Okay, but anyway, it was good and stuff. So they made it back, and little girl, she died and stuff. I think, yeah, because wasn't that crazy man? It was one man kind of crazy. He was shooting people. Anyway, they got him, those little Pac-Man things. But other than that, I'm gonna go inside. It's chilly out here, actually. It may be warmer later. I'll get you guys back later, okay? Y'all have a nice day. I hope you enjoyed talking with me or listening to me, okay? All right.